Chapter 4. Master Tone Before Words. Words don't lead. Tone does. You can say the right sentence and still lose the room. You can speak perfect logic and still sound weak. Because people don't respond to vocabulary first. They respond to energy. Tone sets hierarchy. That's the key. The person who controls their tone controls the frame. The person who controls the frame controls the outcome. You have a choice. You can rush your words and sound uncertain, or you can slow down and sound unshakable. Slow is strong. When your voice is steady, people assume authority. When your tone is calm, people assume competence. When your delivery is grounded, people assume leadership. It's not about being loud. It's about being controlled. That's the key. Look at a courtroom. The best trial attorneys don't shout. They don't panic. They don't beg the jury to believe them. They lower their tone. They slow their pace. They pause before important points. Why? Because tone sets hierarchy. The calmest person in the room appears the most certain, and certainty wins. Now look at leadership briefings inside major corporations. When numbers drop and tension rises, weak leaders start explaining, fast, defensive, high-pitched. They overload the room with words. Strong leaders do the opposite. They pause. They speak slowly. They choose fewer words. They lower their tone. And suddenly, everyone listens. Slow is strong. You have a choice. In emotional moments, your body will want to speed up. Your heart will race. Your voice will tighten. Your sentences will shorten. That's biology. But leadership is not about biology. It's about discipline. It's not about emotion. It's about regulation. It's not about reacting. It's about positioning. That's the key. When someone attacks you verbally, notice your instinct. You want to interrupt. You want to defend. You want to raise your volume. But raising your volume lowers your authority. Tone sets hierarchy. The more emotional you sound, the less powerful you appear. The calmer you sound, the more dominant you become. You don't need their permission to slow down. You don't need their permission to pause. Silence after a statement is power. A measured breath is power. A steady cadence is power. Slow is strong. In crisis communication, this becomes survival. When a company faces public backlash, the worst move is emotional language. Apologies that sound panicked, explanations that sound rushed, statements that feel reactive. The strongest crisis leaders speak differently. They acknowledge. They pause. They commit. And they do it in a tone that says, we are in control. Because control of tone equals control of perception. That's the key. Here's what you must practice. First, lower your baseline speaking speed by 20%. Record yourself. Listen back. You are faster than you think. Second, eliminate filler reactions. No listen. No you have to understand. No nervous laughter. Those are signals of insecurity. It's not about being understood. It's about being respected. Respect begins in tone. Third, pause before responding to anything emotional. 3 seconds. Not 1, 3. Those 3 seconds separate amateurs from leaders. You have a choice. You can react instantly and sound triggered, or you can pause deliberately and sound strategic. Slow is strong. Now let's talk about hierarchy in conversation. In every interaction, someone sets the emotional temperature. If you match the other person's intensity, you surrender the lead. If you lower the intensity, you take control. Tone sets hierarchy. When someone is angry and you remain calm, you win. When someone is excited and you remain measured, you stabilize the room. When someone is chaotic and you remain grounded, you become the anchor. Anchors don't shout. Anchors don't rush. Anchors don't chase approval. You don't need their permission to stay steady. This applies to creators too. If you create content online and someone criticizes you publicly, your tone and response will define your brand. Defensive tone, you look fragile. Sarcastic tone, you look insecure. Calm, concise tone, you look untouchable. It's not about winning arguments. It's about projecting stability. That's the key. Mastering tone also means mastering body language. Your shoulders, your breathing, your facial tension. Your voice reflects your physiology, so control your breathing. Inhale slowly through your nose. Exhale longer than you inhale. Drop your shoulders before you speak. Your tone will follow. Slow is strong. Now understand this clearly. Words can be debated. Tone cannot. People may disagree with your logic, but they will still feel your certainty. And feeling always comes before thinking. Tone sets hierarchy. If you want to lead yourself first, which is the foundation of this entire book, then you must first lead your nervous system. You cannot lead others if your voice trembles under pressure. You cannot command respect if your tone seeks approval. You cannot project authority if your delivery begs to be liked. It's not about being charisma. It's about control. It's not about impressing. It's about stabilizing. It's not about dominance. It's about discipline. That's the key. Here's your assignment. For the next 7 days, speak 15% slower in every important interaction. Pause before every major statement. Lower your tone at the end of sentences instead of raising it. Upward tone sounds like a question. Downward tone sounds like certainty. Certainty leads. You have a choice. You can continue letting emotion dictate your delivery, or you can train your delivery to dictate perception, and perception becomes reality. Slow is strong. Remember this. The room does not follow the smartest voice. The room follows the steadiest voice. Tone sets hierarchy. Master your tone and your words will carry weight. Fail to master it, and even brilliant ideas will sound weak. You are not here to sound good. You are here to sound grounded. That's the key. You mastered your need to explain. You mastered when to stay silent. Now you are mastering how to speak, because leadership begins within. Control yourself first, then control the frame, then control the outcome. You are building internal authority, and internal authority always shows externally. Master your tone and the world listens differently. Now that you understand how to command a room without raising your voice, it's time to understand what truly multiplies your power. You've learned to control your reactions. You've learned to control your delivery. Now let's talk about control over something even more valuable.